We started firing 2 days ago. Warmed the kiln up on Monday, started firing in earnest yesterday. It fired overnight, and now we're on the second full day of the firing. So the last time you saw the kiln, it was bricked up to about here, so we continued bricking it up fully on this sort of like a woolish blanket that we put at the top there. It's a thermal blanket. This is the peephole where we can see the cones that tell us how hot the kiln is at the very top of the kiln. This is a device that we use to measure the backdraft, the amount of pressure that's inside the kiln, and that helps us to maintain an even atmosphere. So it's going to fire overnight tonight, and then we actually fire it down in temperature tomorrow to a certain point. Then we shut the kiln off, and it cools for about 10 days before we unload it. So that's the really exciting part, when we get to take the door down and see what actually happened inside the kiln. It's generally a really beautiful sight. Okay.
So these are test rings for our salt firing. We use these, we pull these out after each time we put rock salt in the kiln. Over time, the rings, after each one, will get heavier glaze on them. We'll get a shine, so we'll know if we need to add more salt or if the coverage of the salt is good and we can stop. So these are just little test draw rings, they're called. Right now they're probably still 2,000 degrees, so we can't touch them. We put grooves in the salt rings to see how the glaze, the sodium silicate will show up on the surface. It pulls in there a little bit better. So our kiln right now, we're at 2,375 degrees. We're going through a time of putting salt in the kiln. It's 3 segments of putting salt in the kiln, and then after this stage we soak the kiln for 2 hours, and then we'll turn it off, and it'll sit for 10 days before we open up the kiln and see what we got.